This month I've prepared for you a segment on basic heraldry. When you play in a medieval fantasy LARP, you usually want to try to stay true to medieval history while still enjoying the freedom to incorporate fantasy elements into your game. The first thing to know about heraldic design is that there are three classes of tinctures: metals, colors, and furs. There are two metals that are used in heraldry: gold and silver. Yellow is considered the equivalent of gold, and white is considered the equivalent of silver. There are 5 major colors used in heraldic design: red, blue, green, black, and purple. There are 3 additional colors that are less commonly used: orange, mulberry, and sanguine, or blood red. The third group is called furs. A fur is a repeating pattern that can be used as a background instead of a color or a metal. The background of your shield is called the field, and it can be divided in a number of different ways. Here's a list of the most common field divisions: per bend sinister, per chevron inverted, per fess, per pale, per pall inverted, per saltire, quarterly, gironi, bari, bendy sinister, checky, lozengey, poly, and pilly, or pily, I'm not sure. There are many different ways to divide the field of your shield, and you should always have at least one metal when you divide your shield up. The reason for this was that shield design was both symbolic and practical. Knights need shields that can be easily identified from across a battlefield. A design that combines colors without using any metals might look good, but in low light or at a distance or through fog, it might be hard to recognize. Often a knight or family would place a design called a charge on the background of their shield. Charges are described as ordinaries, subordinaries, and common charges. The following designs are called honorable ordinaries: pale, fess, bar, bend, and chevron. There are many more charges that fall into the category of subordinaries: chief, base, pall inverted, tierce, saltire, cross, peel inverted, bend sinister, chevron inverted, canton sinister, bordure, orle, giron, fusil, rustre, quarter, and flanche. You can use pretty much any shape as your subordinary charge. Rings, crosses, diamonds, 5 or 6 pointed stars, and even squares were not uncommon. Roundels are circular charges, and there are different names for each color: pomme, baison, gulp, torteau, hurt, pellet, plate, and amulet. Gouttes are teardrop-shaped charges, with different names for each color again: goutte d'huile, or drop of oil; goutte d'or, or drop of gold; goutte de vin, drop of wine; goutte de sang, drop of blood; goutte de larme, teardrop, goutte de pois, drop of pitch, and goutte d'eau, or drop of water. There was a range of complex variations made to the lines that were used to divide up fields. These included embattled, dovetailed, engrailed, indented, density, and raguli. These are just examples of ways to divide a field, just to give you an idea of the many variations possible in heraldic design. Common charges are symbols that can be placed on your field or within a division of your field. Objects were chosen to represent the bearer's occupation, position, history, belief, or character. An object might even be chosen as a play on words or as a pun on a family name or some other attribute you want to accentuate. Everyday objects are often used, and the options are endless. You could choose a pen, a harp, a trumpet, a scythe, an anchor, a ship, an axe, a tower, a bridge, a horseshoe, pretty much anything. Natural symbols were also popular symbols to be used as charges on shields. Medieval heraldry frequently used suns, moons, fire, trees, lightning, clouds, and many other natural objects on shields. Weapons are also often used as charges. A sword, a bow, spear, axe, or dagger might be a fitting symbol. Real and mythical animals often found their way into heraldic designs. While lions, dragons, bears, eagles, and other fearsome creatures are popular, you can also choose less warlike animals, like swans, storks, horses, or whatever you want. You might want to be careful what you choose, as any animal you will pick will bring with it some symbolic value that will be attached to you. A charge can also be an animal or human body part, such as a feather, wings, antlers, a hand or claw, or anything else. Animals as charges are shown in a variety of different positions. In heraldic design, there is a term for pretty much any position you can imagine. While it seems excessive, it was important for heralds to be able to describe the shields of foreign armies so that they could identify individual knights and be better prepared for armed conflict. A shield with a lion that was standing up, facing right, with one paw on the ground, would be called rampant, while a shield with a lion that was standing up, facing right, with both hind feet on the ground would be called salient. Subtle differences might mean the difference between diplomacy with a friend or foe. In a time long before photographs and videotape, being able to accurately identify and describe heraldry was very important. When you go to design your heraldry, you have the opportunity to create a symbol of who your character is and what they represent. You can combine metals and colors and use field divisions and charges to capture an aspect of your personality, a moment from your character's history, or a principle by which you live your life. Does your character live in a desert, the Arctic, on a mountain, or in a valley? Let's say you like the ocean. Maybe you live on an island. You must have sailed to the island, and maybe you had to defeat a dragon before you could safely live there. You can go pretty crazy with it. Let's say you like to adventure at night and you're a bad guy, so let's go with black. But you're a real bad guy, so let's say you killed Superman. No one can kill Superman. Let's say you killed Captain America. Much to your surprise, he was really a vampire. So you grabbed him by those little wings that stick out of his head and you kicked the crap out of him. But he came back again as a lich, so you shoved a sword through his head. Okay, maybe that was a bit much, but you get the idea. You can make mad crazy heraldry and you can have a lot of fun with it if you try. Much of the heraldry in the realms has significance, and if you ask around you will probably get some really interesting explanations for what different groups put on their shields. Medieval heraldry followed many rules and traditions. If you want to design heraldry for use in the realms, you're free to do whatever you want. In the realms there's no right and wrong in heraldic design, but the more closely you follow traditional standards, the more likely your shield will look like it belongs in a medieval fantasy setting. In the realms, that's always a good thing.